Hey, it's Harlan, and what you are looking at is the ingredients label to Wonder Bread. Now, remember growing up, Wonder Bread builds strong bodies 12 ways. Well, let's take a look at what's inside that amazing, worthless bread that many of us grew up on. So we start with wheat flour. Wheat flour is a grain. Grains are not keto because they spike insulin. Then we go on to water. Then we go to high fructose corn syrup or sugar. Typically, they're going to use the high fructose corn syrup because it's much, much cheaper. But it is a sugar. Sugar, of course, is going to really spike your insulin. Yeast, okay. Now we have, not a problem, soybean oil. Soybeans, we're going to get to, tend to promote inflammation. So we're going to want to stay away from that. Barley malt. Barley's also a grain. Wheat gluten, also a grain. Salt is not a problem. Then we have calcium carbonate, sodium stearoyl lactate. These are all preservatives that we go through. Yeast extract, wheat starch, more wheat. Soy flour, so we have soy again. Whey, which is dairy protein, which spikes your insulin, and a few more preservatives. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to learn how to read the actual nutrition label. Now, it's interesting, while I was preparing this video together, I went to the Wonder Bread website. And something funny is, most websites include their nutritional information on the site. I couldn't find it. Maybe this is why. Nor did they have the ingredients. So, here's why. This is the nutrition label that is required on everything by the government. It is broken into fat, cholesterol, sodium, carbohydrates, and protein. We are going to start referring to your fat, carbohydrates, and protein as your three macronutrients. Macronutrients. Once again, fat, carbohydrates, and protein. The goal of keto is to get your fat up, to get your carbohydrates down, and to use a moderate amount of protein. As you can see here, Wonder Bread is highest in carbohydrates and extremely low in fat and very moderately low in protein, meaning it is primarily carbs of the worst kind. So you can see here that breads are going to be a real problem because they are so high in carbs. Eating bread is, especially this kind of bread, is no different than eating sugar, spooning it directly into your system. So what would I like you to do? Here's your homework. Is as much as possible when you are shopping or you are preparing foods at home, I want you to start glancing at the nutrition labels. I want you to pay attention to these three macronutrients. What's the fat? What's the carbs? What's the protein? You will pretty soon start to identify which are the foods that are highest in carbs. Do this for everything. Your nutrition label is going to become your best friend, and it's going to be something that is absolutely necessary for you to succeed at keto. You see, there are ingredients that will trigger that insulin response, and we want to be aware of what are the ingredients. So you want to be aware of right now as you look at ingredients and look at labels and look at the nutrition labels. Are there any grains? Grains are wheat, oats, rye, spelt, barley. Any derivatives of those? Is there corn or any other grain there? Just be aware of them, okay? Not asking you to remove everything now. Just be aware. And be especially aware of sugars that you're going to see. You're going to discover that there are dozens and dozens of names for sugars, and they creep into everything. Pretty soon you're going to notice that things like your mayonnaise on the shelf, sugar. Your salad dressings, sugar. Just about everything you put into your mouth, your tomato sauces, your ketchup, every single one of them has sugars in it. And if you are one of the people, like 40% of the American population, who has a problem with metabolic syndrome or syndrome X, these could be the things that are keeping you from weight loss success. So right now we want to bring these things to a level of awareness. And at this level of awareness, you can start to discover and what exactly is in your food. So start paying attention right now.